Hey folks, happy Valentine's Day to those who observe it in the world. Today's reading from Grief One Day at a Time on February the 14th, 2005 is as follows. The beginning quote states, "The most important business of life is love, or maybe it's the only one." That quote is from somebody named Stendhal. The reading goes on. Life is made meaningful by love. Those of us who've been privileged to love and be loved understand this profound yet exquisite simple truth. Death separates us from the physical presence of those we love, but it does not and it cannot separate us from the love itself. We continue to love even as we grieve. We will keep loving until our last breath. And who knows, perhaps beyond. Love endures, and it is love that will continue to make our life meaningful. The end quote states, "Whenever I feel my grief, I will try to remember that I'm also feeling my love. I will honor the grief and give thanks for the love." Isn't that beautiful, folks? My energy is a little higher today than it is in some of my other videos because grief is such a sad topic to discuss. But as we go along in our journey, I just want to encourage everybody and say there is hope in grief. You may be in a twilight zone of sorts because grief is very fresh to you. You may have experienced a fresh loss. But please don't give up on yourself and the small ways that you grow each day. Like I say, for some people, you may be at a stage right now where you can't even get out of bed because you're in so much pain. But fast forward 2 to 3 years from now, you will find yourself being able to do some of the basic things you weren't able to do in the beginning. And I'm living proof, having lost a loved one every year since 2020, mostly to cancer and also a couple of friends. Grief is something that I'm learning to live with. It's a nonlinear process, and it's something that we all have to face and accept in life, even if we don't want to. I know I didn't want to, and sometimes I still don't want to. So don't think I've arrived. There's no such thing as arrival, and there's no such thing as just getting over it. And anyone who tells you to just get over it is probably operating from a place of insensitivity. Maybe it's not intentional, but it's still insensitivity nonetheless. But today is February the 14th, a day known as Valentine's Day historically. There's a lot to read online about Saint Valentine. He was a martyr and he comes from the Christian worldview. Read up about Saint Valentine, folks, if it's something you're interested in. I like to say that every day is Valentine's Day, whether you're married, whether you're in a committed relationship, whether you're single and hoping to one day be married, or whether you've separated. Valentine's Day doesn't just have to be for couples. It can be for those of us who want to share love with our neighbors and show appreciation to our friends or colleagues, anybody who's added a sense of value to our life and who's had our best interest at heart. Valentine's Day is a great time to just stop and say, "Hey, I see you. I thank you. And you have enhanced my life or made my life better because of your presence in it." So that's the meaning that I attribute to Valentine's Day, and a lot of other people do as well. For those of you in love, may your love flourish and thrive. For those of you in grief who have lost a significant other or a spouse, my heart really goes out to you. My heart goes out to you, and I hope that in time, the beautiful memories that you shared with that loved one will take precedence over the thoughts of pain and grief that you might be feeling because of their absence. Know that feeling absence of loved ones we've lost sometimes can be intensified on these kinds of holidays like Valentine's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving. And I really want to implore those of you who experience intense periods of grief during holiday times that are known for celebration to really take care of yourself. You know, I know for me, Thanksgiving and Christmas tend to be hard holidays. And this past holiday time, I really made a schedule of intentional things to do to take care of myself. That included not overextending myself and feeling obligated to show up at holiday functions. That included stretching at least twice a week. That included listening to my body and making sure I got at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. That included saying no to being obligated to show up and cook and participate in the kitchen when I didn't feel like I had the energy to do so. Yeah, sure, I made a couple of empanadas at the house, and that's always a beautiful thing. But I remember during the holiday season also taking a lot of scenic drives. It was so encouraging to me to see beautiful sunset and to see how the natural colors of the atmosphere would change in the fall season. And those things brought me joy. What is it that brings you joy, especially during the holiday season as you go through grieving loved ones that you've lost? What do you do? I mean, do you put together a puzzle? Do you turn on some of your favorite music and dance? It's hard sometimes with music because sometimes there's songs that remind you of your loved one who you lost, and you're like, do not play that because it's riling up the emotions and I can't take it. So there's that. But what are some of the things you guys have done during times of grief that fall in line with holidays? Whatever you're doing, I want to encourage you to continue to thrive. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and know that you're not alone in this nonlinear process of grief. Thanks for your time today.